So we started with the opener. The opener, first name, upward inflection on their voice. The second part, we're going to use what's called an accusation audit. Okay. The idea behind it is they listed their house for sale by owner because realtors are fuck off. They don't want to deal with you. And so you need to address that before they can, because if you just start going into it like they want to talk to you, they're going to say, listen, I don't want to work with a realtor. Obviously, you don't want to work with a realtor. And if I'm playing stupid like I don't know that, it's just as bad as beating around the bush. It's going to piss off a prospect. So what you do is you get in front of it before they can say it. And once you label it, it literally makes it disappear. Like, so the accusation on it is going to look something like this. Hey, John, Chris, eXp Realty. Hey, listen, man, I know you probably got every realtor in the neighborhood calling you. I was just hoping I could ask you a quick question before you hang up on me. Is that fair? He can't say, I don't want to talk to a realtor because I already said it, you know. He's already responded to his first name. So he's agreed to have some type of conversation with me. But at the end of it, I asked permission to ask him questions. Is that fair? Sure. Or no. If it's no, oh, okay, fair enough. So even if it meant making more money on this house, it wouldn't be worth the conversation. No. All right. Have a good day, man. Next call. No emotions. So upward inflection on the voice, whatever they answer, using their first name, and then using the accusation audit and setting a horrible expectation and then allowing it to not be so bad is what you're doing. So listen, I know you got 1,000,001 realtors calling you. You are probably stressed out. I want to be one less person bugging you. I just want to ask you a quick question before you hang up on me. Is that cool? And go from there. So that's part one. Part two. Part three is you're just going to be direct and find your criteria. Okay. So get right into the 6 questions, you know? So it looks something like, hey, John, Chris with eXp Realty. Listen, man, before you hang up, I was hoping I could ask you a quick question. Cool, man. Heck yeah. Hey, listen, if I can make you a little bit more money on this house than you're currently looking at, would you be willing to meet with me? You've asked them to meet. Okay, you would be willing to meet with me. Well, that's cool. Well, cool house, man. What has you thinking about getting rid of it? Oh, you got to, go see grandma up in Colorado. Man, that's unfortunate, man. Well, listen, how soon are you trying to get there? Okay, you're trying to get there in the next 60 days. That makes sense. Listen, I would have to check out the house to even make sure it's something I'd be able to help you to sell. You don't have any obligations to another agent who's already doing this job, do you? You do? Okay, well, fair enough. It sounds like you might not be open to the idea of having a second opinion then. Oh, you would? Okay, well, fair enough. Listen, man, if I were to just come by, and just peek my head in the door, maybe give you a few, additional options on what you're already doing, would that be fair? Great. What's a good time to meet? Or you start setting times for them. I can meet tomorrow between 4 and 8, and then let them pick whatever times. Or you can take the approach of are mornings or afternoons better for you? Because now you've given them 2 options, and then once they pick mornings or afternoons, you just secure a time from there. This is stuff you guys have probably gone over before in sales training, or just whenever you guys are working with buyers. Let's see, what is the next part? Before you get off the phone, you got to get their email. So all right, well, that sounds good, man. I'm going to go ahead and send you a confirmation email, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 4:00. What's a good email for you, John? Perfect. Hey, listen, I'm going to send you a copy of my resume, just that way you know who I am and you can kind of get familiar with me. If you see any red flags, you can tell me to kick rocks long before I show up. Is that fair? Great. Listen, man, I'll see you tomorrow at 4. Have a good one. Boom. All right. So there's many different ways you can ask those 6 questions that you need in order to qualify them. Let's talk about the second one. Do they need to sell? There's a very specific way you want to ask it. Okay. And you never ask why. Why are you selling? And could any of you guys tell me why we don't ask why? Just take a stab at it.
Sometimes if they're behind on mortgage or something like that, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's confrontational. And so whenever you're like, why are you selling? It's like, who the fuck are you to ask me that question, because it could be very personal for them. And they think that you know, obviously they're paranoid about their situation. You start asking why, and they think that you're kind of like seeing them naked, like you can see their problems, and they don't want to admit anything to you. So the less confrontational way, a total non-confrontational way to ask them why they're selling. Well, man, this is an awesome house you got here. What has you thinking about dumping it off? You're using what instead of why, but you're still asking why. You're just going around it. So, okay, well, yeah, that's great. You'd be willing to meet with me. Well, let me ask you this. You know, if the house doesn't sell, you're just going to rent it out, right? Oh, okay. So it's not an option to just keep it. So it sounds like you need to sell. You know, that's a good one. And then let's add a note in here. What I did there, whenever I said, oh, so if it doesn't sell, you're just going to keep it and rent it out, right? I'm intentionally putting information in there that may be false to them, because the human instinct, when another human is talking and says the wrong thing, the natural human instinct is to correct them. And 100% of the time, they will give you information you never asked for, just because you made a false assumption about something. And not once did I have to ask him, well, can you just keep it and rent it out? Because now I'm prying again. It's just as prying as if I were to ask, why are you selling? You know, so can you just keep it and rent it out? I'm getting in there, and it's going to be uncomfortable for some people. Some people will respond well to it, but there's a lot that won't. And you want to make sure you include them in there, because you could have a very good lead. They're just squeamish. They don't want to be confronted. They may be bashful. They may, there's a million reasons why. So what has you thinking about selling? Okay, that's great. So, I mean, it sounds like if it doesn't sell, you're just going to keep it and rent it out. Oh, okay. So it's not an option to rent it out. I got it. My bad. And the whole time you're just collecting information, and you're sounding like a dumbass while you're doing it, which makes them think that they are superior to you. And that's what you want. You want to make them feel superior and like they're in control. You give the illusion of control to the prospect, and they will reward you every single time.
If you would do me a quick favor and click the like and subscribe button below, that way you always get notified whenever we release a new video.